All righty. So go ahead and come to a comfortable seated position. And I encourage everybody to get up either on a bolster or folded towel or a blanket just a little bit. This just makes this so much more comfortable. If you're sitting flat on the floor and and it hurts anywhere, get up a little bit. And even if you can sit on the floor comfortably, it's good to get up because that creates just a little bit of extra space from which to work the yoga asanas. So lengthen the spine, drop into the breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose, allowing the mind to follow so that you think, I breathe in, I breathe out. I breathe in, I breathe out. And bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra at the heart center. As you inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. And exhale back to the heart. Inhale the arms forward and up. And exhale back. And one more time, inhale and exhale. And then release the arms down to the side. And this time, inhale and just float this arm up. Get this long stretch into the side body and exhale back. And the left arm, inhale and exhale. A few more times here. And this just helps build the strength in the spine. Getting used to using those muscles to sit up nice and tall. One more time, right arm and left arm. And then the next time this right arm comes up, now get the length and then hinge over, lengthening both sides of the torso. And exhale back. And the left arm up and over. Inhale and exhale. So keep going. Inhale and exhale. And the next time the right arm comes up and over, we're going to stay here, lengthen and hold, breathing into the belly. One more, inhale, lengthen and exhale, and left arm up and over, and again, breathing into the belly. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale. Back up, sitting up nice and tall here. And inhale, engage the root, lock the pit of the belly, curl forward into a seated cat, and then press the sits bones, lengthen the spine, open the heart center, coming into cow. And inhale. Drawing the navel towards the spine, curling forward into a cat, and exhale, press the sits bones, lengthen the spine, and open the heart center. And keep going like this, inhaling cat, and exhaling cow. Moving slowly and mindfully. And then come up to sitting and lengthen and move in some gentle holographic wave here. So this three-dimensional asymmetric movement, everybody's will look a little bit different. You're getting into the fascia, into the connective tissue. Bring that to a close, come back up to sitting, and let's move the head and neck just a little bit. So take your nose and make very small circles. Let's start going clockwise around the clock. Little tiny circles. And then gradually let those circles get a little wider and a little wider till you're making big circles, gently stretching into those head and neck muscles. And the next time your chin is down on the chest, stay here and breathe. Just allow the weight of the head to stretch the muscles in the back of the neck, and then lift the ears up over the shoulders. And now we'll go counterclockwise, starting with little tiny circles, and then making those circles gradually spiral out till they're bigger and bigger. And you're making great big circles with your nose. And the next time your chin is down on the chest, stay here and breathe. And lift the ears over the shoulders. And then just roll your shoulders forward and up and back and down. Forward and up, back and down. And one more time, forward, up, back and down. And then lace your fingers together. Press the palms towards the wall in front of you. Lift the arms up, bringing the palms of the hands towards the ceiling, and reach here. Release the shoulders down towards the hips, breathing. Now, turn the palms towards the head, bend the elbows, and then slide the palms of the hands back to the occiput, that little knob on the back of the head. And if your elbows want to come forward like this, just see if you can bring them out to the side. You can take your hands and gently lift up, putting upward tension on the neck. That can feel really good. And you can also press the hands into the head a little bit and push the head back towards the hands a little bit, creating an isometric stretch. And then press the hands back up to the ceiling and turn the palms towards the head. Release the fingers, roll, and gently release the arms down. And then roll the shoulders forward and up, back and down, forward and up, back and down. And one more time, forward, up, back and down. Now we're going to repeat that, but this time put the opposite thumb on top. So however you naturally clasp your hands, do that. Then unclasp them and put the opposite thumb on top. It'll feel funny. Press the palms forward, lift the hands up overhead, reach here, releasing the shoulders towards the hips, breathing. And then turn the palms towards the head, bend the elbows, slide the hands back to that little knob on the back of your head, and reach out with the elbows, keeping the spine long. And then press the palms and hands back up. And turn the palms down, release, letting the arms float down. And then again, roll the shoulders forward, up and back and down. Forward and up and back and down. And one more time, forward, up and back and down. And we'll come onto our back now. So slide off anything you're sitting on and move it to the side. And come down onto your back with your knees bent, your feet flat on the mat. And make sure that the back of the neck is long and that occiput should rest on the mat. So your chin may feel just a little bit tucked here. And if that's hard for you to do, then get us a little beach towel and just fold it and put just a little bit, maybe an inch or so under the head, and that will make will make it more comfortable for you. So let's start with opposing leg flow. So bring the right knee in, flex the foot, press it up to the ceiling, and then bend the right knee, lower the right foot down to the mat. Left knee in, flex the foot, press it up to the ceiling, and then bend the knee and lower that left foot down to the mat. So just keep going, one leg and then the other. And try to keep the sacrum flat on the mat. That's the lower part of the fixed lower spine, fixed bones. So you don't want to let the tailbone roll up off the mat. You want to keep that low back on the mat, even if you don't get your leg quite as high. And the breath is inhale, bend and straighten. Exhale, bend and lower. Inhale, bend and straighten. And exhale, bend and lower. If you get confused about the breath, just remember to breathe, to not hold your breath, to breathe with the movement. Go one more time, right leg and left leg. And then bring that to a close. Stay here and breathe. Let yourself release into the mat. So this is a lullaby yoga class. It's meant to relax you and prepare the body for rest. Now, bring the right knee into the chest and bring your right hand on top of the kneecap. And we're going to go through some joint rotation. So the first thing we're going to do is circle this right knee round and round. Take your time. Move slowly and mindfully here. And these joint rotations help the body secrete synovial fluid into the joint spaces, and that helps lubricate and nourish the joint. Now we're going to reverse this hip rotation, going back the other way. And then lower that foot onto the mat and bring your left knee in, left hand on the kneecap, and big hip rotations here. And then go ahead and reverse, going back the other way. And then release the left foot back to the mat. Now bring the right knee in and lace your fingers underneath that right thigh. And we're just going to straighten and bend the knee. So you want to hug the thigh close to the chest. And so when you go to straighten, you may not be able to straighten all the way. And we're just working into the hinge joint of the knee here and also stretching the hamstrings in the back of the legs a little. And then the next time you bring it towards straight, just bring the thigh away from the torso until you can straighten the knee and take a few breaths. And now we're going to make big ovals in the sky with our foot. So bring your right foot out to the right and then in towards the center and up, out to the outside and center and up. And make these, they're sort of like you're just drawing a big oval with your toe and you're working the little tiny bit of lateral motion that's available in that knee joint. And then the next time the toe is up, stay here. We're going to reverse. So now you're going to bend the knee and you're going to bring the foot in towards the center. And as you straighten, it comes to the outside, into center, straighten out. So again, drawing these big ovals in the air with your toe in order to work this little bit of lateral motion in the knee. And then again, bring that leg to straight. And if you have to lower the thigh away from the torso in order to do that, that's fine. You just want to feel a strong stretch in the back of the leg here. And then bend the knee and lower the foot. Take a few breaths. Notice how you feel. And then bring the left knee in. Place your fingers under the thigh and begin by straightening and bending. Sometimes you'll hear some like crackling or popping or clicking in the joint as you do these movements. And then go ahead and straighten the knee. And we're going to make those big ovals with our toe. So you're going to lower and bring the foot towards the outside of the body and then lift, bringing it towards the midline. Down and out, in and up. So just keep going, drawing those big ovals. And then the next time the toe is up, stay here and we'll reverse. So now you go to the center and bring the foot down and to the outside and go up. So just reversing those big ovals. And then straighten the knee. You might have to release the thigh towards the floor just a little bit to do that. Stay here and breathe. And then bend the knee, lower the foot down to the mat. Take a few breaths here. Now, we're going to do opposing arms and legs. So I just have to scoot down my mat a little bit for this. So bring your right knee into the chest and straighten it and bring the left arm up and over. And then bend the knee, lower the foot and the hand. And then left leg, right arm up and over. And then bend the knee, lower the foot, lower the arm. So just keep going like this. Right leg, left arm. Left leg, right arm. One more time, right leg, left arm, and one more time, left leg, right arm. And then bring your right knee in, straighten the foot, bring your arm up overhead, stay here and breathe. And then lift the arm up so the tips of the fingers are towards the ceiling and flex the foot, flex the wrist, and point the toes, point the fingers down. So keep going, flex the foot and the wrist, point the toes and the fingers, flex and point. We're just going to do this a few times, stretching into the feet and hands, ankles and wrists. And then flex and reach, and now make big hand and ankle circles. And reverse, going back the other way. And then flex and reach. Bend the knee, lower the foot and the arm down to the mat. Now bring the left knee, right arm up. Take this long stretch here. And then bring that arm up so the tips of the fingers are towards the ceiling. Flex the foot, flex the wrist. Point the toes, point the fingers down towards the floor, and keep going here, flexing and pointing. And the next time you flex and reach, stay here. And big wrist and ankle circles. And then reverse, going back the other way. And then flex and reach, breathing here. Bend the knee, lower the foot and the arm down to the mat, and just take a few deep breaths here. Now, bring both knees into the chest, bring the palms of the hands on the kneecaps. We'll do some Apanasana. So exhale, draw the knees into the chest. And as you inhale, let the knees come forward. Exhale, knees to chest, drawing the navel towards the spine, and inhale as the knees come forward. Do this a few more times. And then bring that to a close, lower one foot, and then the other. Take a few breaths. Now, bring your right knee into the chest and bring the right ankle over the left thigh and press that ankle into the thigh so you rotate the right knee towards the foot of the mat, getting that external rotation in the right thigh. And then lift the left foot off the mat and lace your fingers under that left thigh. Release the head and shoulders back down to the mat and stay here and breathe in the supine pigeon pose. Now flex both feet and straighten the left leg and continue to stay and breathe. And bend the left knee, release your hands, lower the left foot, uncross the right leg, and just stay here and breathe. Slow, deep breaths, enjoying the energetic after effect of that pose. And then bring the left knee in, left ankle over the right thigh. Press that ankle into the thigh, externally rotating the left knee. Take a few breaths here. And then lift the right foot off the mat. Lace your fingers around the right thigh and hug it to the chest. Taking some breaths here, waiting for that left thigh to release, to let go, and just be in the supine pigeon pose. Flex both feet, straighten the right leg, and again, stay here and breathe. Bend that right knee, release your hands, lower the right foot onto the mat. Uncross the left and take some breaths here. And then gently rock your knees from side to side, just a little bit. You don't want to rock them so quickly and severely that you pull the low back. You just want the low back to gently rock back and forth a little bit, and the weight of the knees is under control. And then bring that to a close and bring your hands down your side. And we're going to do some bridge poses. And I like to do these bridge poses in a way that makes it a strengthening exercise in support of the back, rather than doing it so much as a back bend practice, although there is a little of that to it too. So bring your hands down to your sides. And the first thing I want to do is just practice engaging the root lock a little bit. So you want your heels in line with your sits bones, so hip distance apart. And then let the knees fall together and press the knees towards each other and lift up on the root lock and draw the navel towards the spine. And then exhale and release. Release the knees, release the root lock in the belly. And again, knees together. Inhale, engage the root lock. So lifting up on the muscles of the pelvic floor, navel down and up. And then exhale, release. Now, see if you can do that same thing, leaving the knees where they are. So lifting up on the root lock, drawing the navel towards the spine, and then exhale and release. You might feel a little pelvic rock as you engage the root lock in the pit of the belly. The tailbone will kind of roll up towards the ceiling, and then as you exhale and release, it comes back so the sacrum is flat on the mat. Engage the root lock, the pit of the belly, and exhale, release. Take a couple of breaths here. So every time you do a bridge pose, you want to precede it with the root lock, engaging the root lock and the pit of the belly. Even if that isn't cued into the pose, that is just part of the bridge pose. So we're going to lift in and out of it, engaging the root lock and the pit of the belly, and as we come up, and then coming down and releasing those locks. So lengthen the spine, lift up on the root lock, draw the navel towards the spine, press into the feet, lift the hips up off the mat, bringing the weight towards the shoulders, and then exhale, release back down onto the mat, and breathe here. And again, engage the root lock, the pit of the belly, press into the feet and lift the pelvis off the mat. Press into the feet till the weight comes towards the shoulders. Make sure the back of the neck is long, and make sure you're looking up towards the ceiling. So not at your screen. If you have to look at your screen, just don't come into the pose until you know what you need to do. And then release back down and take a few breaths here. And again, engage the root lock, the pit of the belly, press into the feet and lift and hold. And releasing back down. Bringing the knees into the chest, flex the feet, press them up to the ceiling, reaching through the heels in a Supta Dandasana. Stay here and breathe. Now flex the feet and allow the heels to fall away from each other, reaching here. You can bring your hands under the legs to support them if you'd like to. And then bring the heels back together. Bend the right knee, lower the left leg down to the mat, straight and strong. Take a few breaths here. Lift the left leg up. Bring the right leg next to it. And then bend the left knee, lower the right leg, straight and strong, and breathe here. And then lifting the right leg up, bringing the left leg next to it, and Supta Dandasana, lying down staff pose. Now let the heels fall away from each other again. Stay here and breathe. And from here, we're going to come into a happy baby. So bend the knees so that they are like under your armpits or right above your armpits, I guess. And the soles of the feet are pointing towards your ceiling, and hug those thighs towards the chest. And you can stay right here and do your happy baby like this. Or if you'd like to, you can slide your hands up the insides of the calves and wrap the palms of the hands around the insteps of the feet. And press the knees towards the floor gently. You don't want to force. You never want to force anything in yoga. You just want to see what's available and stay here and breathe. So this is a great pose for pelvic health that helps stretch out the muscles of the pelvic floor, or the root lock, which we just worked in the bridge pose. Now release your feet and bring them back up into Supta Dandasana. And you can kind of wiggle your feet around a little bit here if you like, and then flex and reach. And let's take that happy baby again. So allowing the heels to fall away from one another, bending the knees under or over the armpits, and sliding the hands up the legs if you wish to, wrapping them around the instep and gently releasing towards the earth. Breathe in here. Releasing the feet, coming back to Dandasana. Bend the knees into the chest and bring your right knee over to the right, rolling onto the right side, and stack the left on top, coming into a twist. And stay here and breathe. Release the left shoulder towards the mat, looking straight up at the ceiling. Slow, deep breaths. And then cartwheel those knees over to the left side, stacking one on top of the other. Stay here and breathe. And then coming back onto your back, bring your hands onto your kneecaps and just make some big hip circles, both knees going the same way, massaging the low back into the mat. And when you're ready, you can reverse, going back the other way. And then bring it back to a close. And we'll make our way into Shavasana, lowering one foot and then the other. Lower the feet. Now, if this hurts your back, get a folded beach towel or a bolster and place it under your thighs. That'll put a little curve in the back and take any tension from the low back so that you're comfortable. Let the toes come out to the side. Rotate the palms towards the ceiling. Allow the mind to follow the breath. I breathe in, I breathe out. And we'll be here for some minutes, and then we'll close the class. Slowly make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra at the heart center. Take a few breaths. Notice how you feel. And take this off the mat and into your life. Namaste. Thank you all for coming. Good night.